The Cowboys have been active so far this offseason. On Tuesday, they agreed to a 4-year, $80 million deal with defensive tackle Osu Odighizuwa. In 2024, he had a career-high 4.5 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. The Cowboys also restructured wide receiver CeeDee Lamb's contract. Dallas restructured Lamb's contract in a way that saves the team $20 million in 2025. And let's not forget Dak. According to Todd Archer, he would expect Dak's contract could be restructured soon as well. He signed a 4-year, $240 million extension hours before Dallas season opener in Cleveland last year. Okay. Hey, you. Do you feel like Dallas is righting the ship?
No. Okay. They're the Dallas Cowboys.
Are you moved by these moves?
I'm not moved. I will say this, though. They're moving in the right direction.
Okay.
Because when you're shaving, money off your cap, obviously that positions you to go out there and to do some things. So I certainly don't have a problem with that. CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott restructuring their deal, I think, is a plus. But I think they're fighting for third place in the division because I don't think they're going to touch the Eagles and I don't think they're going to touch the Washington Commanders. That's just my belief. I respect what they're doing. They should have done this last year. So they're moving in the right direction. They seem to be learning the era of their ways. But am I sold on it? No. And shockingly, listen, I want them to elevate hope so I can have something to laugh to the fans about as opposed to...
You got to laugh all last year.
Well, because I was feeling sorry for them because it was so bad.
By the way, you were off. Do you know that Jerry turned down interviews? Yeah, that happened. That should have been breaking news.
Jerry Jones?
Oh, yeah. He turned down interviews. Yep. He said he wasn't talking to anybody.
He wouldn't turn down mine. You know what I'm saying? I got to call my buddy. We got to go out for a drink.
Okay.
Stephen Jones owes me a drink.
Okay.
But the way they struggle.
Yeah, you certainly need a free drink. Still to come, Jay.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys have made some moves. Todd Archer reporting that they have restructured the contract of receiver CeeDee Lamb, creating about $20 million in salary cap space, which they could certainly use. They agreed to a 4-year, $80 million deal with defensive tackle Osa Odighizuwa. They made the deal before he hit free agency, or they had to use a franchise tag. He had his best season last year and was rewarded. Let's bring Tim Hasselbeck back in. What should the Cowboys' biggest priority? I know they have a lot of needs, but in your estimation, what's number one this offseason?
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of things that need to get done. I mean, look, clearly they need to work things out with Micah Parsons. Outside of that, I would look at their offensive line. I think that addressing the offensive line, through free agency, and then when you get to the draft, probably drafting a running back, I think, and improving at that position. It's the position that can impact your season and team the most, just based, purely on the number of times somebody can touch the football. And so obviously in this year's draft with Ashton Jante, as being the top-rated guy, or Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina being another, hot name in the running back market. I do think that could change things drastically, where just the design and feel of your offense would be different, because you could then be, more of a run emphasis team, which would help a team which has got quite a lot of needs.
Yeah, I mean, Genty certainly could be there.
All right, to the NFL, and the Eagles rewarding Saquon Barkley for his record-setting season, giving him a 2-year, $41.2 million extension that makes him the highest-paid running back in NFL history. Barkley had 2,504 rushing yards last year, including the playoffs, setting a league record. More importantly, Philly won the Super Bowl.
Couldn't have done it without him. And our Jordan Reed has a fresh new 2-round version out on ESPN.com. And it starts with a bang. Let's stay with New York. Why not? The Giants trading their 3rd overall pick along with pick number 34 to the Titans to move up to number 1 overall, where they take Miami quarterback Cam Ward. New York needs that franchise quarterback. Ward and Shedeur Sanders, just the two of them projected to go in the first round. Who knows? Moving up very well may be the way to go. We've heard the Titans say they're taking all callers as we welcome Jordan Reed in now, along with Giants reporter Jordan Renan. So, Jordan, let's start with you. What are you hearing about the options that the Giants are exploring with that quarterback situation?
Yeah, Hannah, there's a lot of talk this time of year, right? And after missing out on Matthew Stafford, multiple league sources told me after meeting with the Giants last week, they came away with the impression that the Giants were likely to make a move and trade up for that number 1 pick. In that scenario, it would be for Miami quarterback Cam Ward. He's considered the top option by most teams. At least that's the way it seemed in Indianapolis. And the thing is, you listen to Joe Schoen, and he talked last week, and he said he's willing to take that big swing at quarterback. Obviously, he did it with Matthew Stafford. Now he moves on. That option is gone. On to plan B, which in this case looks like it could be getting up to that number 1 pick in the draft. But the Giants, they also want to add a veteran quarterback. Among the options, as Adam Schefter said last week, is Aaron Rodgers, who spent the last 2 years with the Jets. Now, you can see what the Giants are looking at when they say, okay, Aaron Rodgers is an option. They want a veteran option to potentially help along and mentor a young quarterback. So that would make sense here. Of course, Rodgers isn't the only option. Sam Darnold, he's going to be a free agent and hit the free agent market potentially. And also, we're talking about maybe Kirk Cousins as well and Russell Wilson. Those are other guys that I've been told we should keep an eye on as they move forward here.
Yeah, as Jordan said, I agree with every point that he just made. And the Giants cannot come out of this out of this draft without a quarterback, just because their feet are to the fire right now. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll have to win this year. So they're ensuring that they have a plan, a short-term and a long-term plan under center, whether that's stacking Aaron Rodgers and Cam Ward or strictly just trading up for Cam Ward. And that's why I like this fit so much for them, just because Cam Ward needs a demanding position coach as well as head coach. I believe Brian Daboll has that type of strong voice that could get in his ear a little bit, especially when he has such a big appetite for chasing those big plays. And he needs to calm down a little bit sometimes and just take the first or second option on his progression. But also, I love the fit here with Cam Ward and the New York Giants for those reasons.
All right, let's take a look at some other picks in Jordan Reed's newest mock, shall we? Browns taking Shedeur Sanders at 2. He's got the Titans getting Abdul Carter at 3, and the Pats getting Travis Hunter at 4. Ashton Genty goes to the Raiders at 6, and Combine standout Shamar Stewart goes to the Jets at 7. So, Jordan, what's your rationale for the Browns taking Shedeur with that 2nd overall pick?
Well, similar to the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns are a regime that has to win next year. Everybody is probably going to be cleaning out their desk. And with Shedeur, what you're getting is you're getting a polished pocket passer. You're getting somebody that is extremely experienced. Everywhere that he's been able to turn around those programs. And that's something that he talked about at the Combine. He was able to successfully turn around Jackson State, winning 2 SWAC titles there. And then also at Colorado, we know how bad they were prior to when Coach Prime and then also Shedeur and Travis Hunter got there. So you're talking about somebody that has he's been able to turn around, or a track record of turning around places that he has been. In a place like Cleveland that has been basically a graveyard for quarterbacks over the past few decades, Shedeur really would welcome the challenge of being able to turn around the Cleveland Browns franchise.
That's a big turnaround. That's like turning around a giant truck really, really slowly. But let's talk about his teammate in college, Travis Hunter. Now, I know he's your top overall prospect in this draft, but you have him going 4th overall to the Patriots. I can't imagine they would be delighted with that pick. Why?
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots should be jumping for joy if Travis Hunter is there for them with the 4th overall pick. I mean, this guy is rare. I can't say enough great things about him. We're talking about somebody that played over 115 snaps a game on both sides of the ball. Not only that, but he had a lasting impact on both sides of the ball, in tune with 2 game plans every single week. He reminds me a lot of Champ Bailey when he was coming out of Georgia in the late 90s. You can compare him to Chris Gamble and some of these other guys that have played both ways. But as far as a lasting impact, he's been able to do that. And this is a very rare player. I would play him at cornerback first if it was up to me full time. And then I would sprinkle him in at wide receiver. And we know Drake May definitely needs a go-to option at wide receiver, so he could be that. But also you pair him with Christian Gonzalez. You have a dynamic duo at cornerback for the future.
Yeah, you do. It's going to be interesting whatever happens.